My name is Arath Perez. I'm 22 years old and I'm a student at Towson. I'll graduate next year in spring
Oh,
2022.
that's so exciting. And what's your major?
English secondary ed.
Tell us a bit about your interest in walking and being in nature.
I really like the aesthetics of the outdoors, the breeze and the weather. It's calming and it helps me get into good headspace,
Mhm.
especially when no one else is around.
And you said you're curious and you enjoy learning some things. Tell us what you enjoy about learning in general.
Well, in general, I like learning about different things because it helps me feel well rounded. And it's a way that I can connect with others and see how they're doing and how I could also become a better person and things just become clear once you learn new things.
What has changed for you during the pandemic? And what has been helpful or what has been difficult for you?
Well, during the pandemic, I've mostly been at home. And so, it's a mixed bag. I usually don't go out of the house unless I go to work or do some other things just to be outdoors. But sometimes I feel like in a Zoom session, or being virtual, that's like a way for me to like connect with people without physically being there. Because one of the things that I like is I usually turn on my camera, but sometimes I can retreat by turning it off, for example. But if you were like in person, that would definitely be more difficult. It will be more awkward.
Hmm.
So I like the ability of still being there without not being there at the same time.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you prepared for this interview?
I took a look at the questions and I thought about them. I reflected. And that way I was able to answer them clearly and effectively, try to explain myself as best I could.
And so you told me previously that honesty is important. So why is it important to you and for you?
Well, it helps me understand myself and others to make sure that everybody's like working together as a team and they're on the right track. It's a sign of respect. Sometimes you lie because it might you know work for a little while, but at the end of the day, telling the truth is the only way that's actually going to fix things, and it shows that you trust someone and that you're willing to you know tell them something that's uncomfortable, but it will be but it will only be more uncomfortable if you live a lie, for instance, than if
Yeah,
you
definitely.
just tell things as they are.
Definitely. I agree with you. I admire that about you, honestly. Um, and going back to talking about your major, you're an English major and you're going in secondary education. What inspired you to become a teacher?
I want to be a teacher because I want to help students and the next generation get on the right path,
Mm.
and I want them to feel comfortable and have a place where they can be themselves and to discover their purposes, because I really want to motivate students to like know what they're good at, what they enjoy, and I want to help it turn it into a way where they can make a difference. You know, I like
Mhm.
spreading knowledge. I like the things that I want to teach them. Like I think it's good stuff to know, but I want them to know that stuff so that they can use it into their lives and like help them be more critical thinkers and see what they learn in class and how they would apply that to like their daily lives.
I think you're the perfect person to be a teacher. Then I love that. Um, and why do you want to teach high school students?
Well, high school students, I think they're mature enough to like discuss complex topics.
Mm.
Like for instance, an elementary school student might not grasp concepts, and I like uh, teaching stuff that is more deeper and stuff, and I want to talk about that, and I want to have like an honest dialogue about things. But I also think that high school is an important time of growth. And,
Mm.
when you're in high school, you're discovering who you are and, but you want to know the options. So I want to be there to like help them discover their options. And I would like them to do something that's going to make a difference and is going to make them feel fulfilled and something that they want to do in the long run.
Obviously, you're an English major, so I think it's appropriate to talk about the things you like to write. So, why do you choose to write about dystopian worlds?
I really like learning about different ideologies and societies and the histories of stuff. And I think it's the perfect uh, way of teaching lessons because they are creative. Like, they're like, you can make a lot of things up, but they're also relevant to the world and you can teach stuff. And I like making up things like societies and names and hierarchies and stuff like that. I really find that quite fun, to be honest. But also they are themselves, they're really important to like for critical thinking skills and reasonings because it helps people understand the importance of individuality. All of us have a view of what's perfect for us, what we think will be the best for humanity, but it's not the same for others. Dystopian worlds and dystopian literature is a way where, it tells you, oh, a better world, you can have a better world, but not in not a perfect world. And the best way to actually, if you want to like be everyone to be happy, is to just let everyone be themselves. And I think I appreciate that message a lot.
Tell us about your desire to travel, such as where you'd like to go, and learning about languages.
I want to be in different climates. Like I want to go to a hot place. I want to go to the beaches. I want to go to the mountains, to deserts, to cities, to the sea. All of that I want to go to. I want to go to every state in the United States because I think all the states are pretty cool in their own way. I'd like to visit Europe and Asia, Australia, the Americas, basically everywhere. One place that I really would like to go, for example, would be the West, like Montana and Utah, because they have so much landscapes. They have the Grand Canyon, some boulders, mountains. The Rocky Mountains are there. Mount Rushmore is there, and I really think that would be cool. Another place that I would really like to go would be Greece because of the ancient history of Athens and all the city-states, Mount Olympus, and it also has good weather, and it has like nice islands, and would also like to see the wildlife, like all the different types of animals, just see them from a distance living their lives. That would be different. It'd definitely be cool.
It definitely sounds like you're an avid learner. What about languages?
Languages, I think they help you connect with others and, find a way to like express yourself because in one language might not be enough to like express yourself. So you get that greater awareness and respect. So like they say that bilingual people, they have an expanded knowledge. And so, so when you say something in like another language, it doesn't translate directly a lot of ways because it's a different way of seeing things. And I really like that. And you get that perspective and you adopt it. And sometimes it feels like so cool when you have that. And particularly in the United States, I think people should learn more languages because I think that would definitely help them expand themselves and see things that they didn't see before, but then it like hits them and it's a spark.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. It sounds like you have a lot of things to do on your bucket list. You have a long list of things and places to see.
Yeah.
And so lastly, how would you describe an autistic person to someone who has never met an autistic person before?
Well, I think people should know that autistic people are not different from everyone else. Like, they have dreams and goals and feelings, and that we care about things. And sometimes it doesn't show that we care, but we do, and it's in a different way. And you can't tell just by looking at someone because everyone's different. You know, everyone expresses themselves different, and they all will have their own interest. It's like every other person. It's just a different way of thinking.
Mhm.
And so one thing that I really want is just people to like uh, treat us as equals and respecting our boundaries, but encouraging us and, you know, being there and allow people to speak for themselves when they want to speak for themselves. Like, you know, you want to give that space, but understand why and that they are different, but also but celebrate that and see that makes them an important part of themselves.